Hi, 10th literature students. So I was just made aware that apparently the night discussion questions that we went over in class for 1 through 4, apparently the discussion, the video didn't upload all the way or something. So I wanted to go ahead and go over 1 through 4 so that my online students are really clear about what we discussed in class. So the first question, how does Ellie's encounter with the dentist reveal that he has changed since he first came to the camp? So first of all, we talked about how the dentist was hung. Okay, basically, it says he had been thrown into prison and was about to be hanged. It appeared that he had been dealing in the prisoner's gold teeth for his own benefit. So basically, this person who was the dentist actually wasn't a dentist at all, and he was killed, murdered for telling that lie and for taking the gold crown teeth himself. And so Ellie says, I felt no pity for him. In fact, I was pleased with what was happening to him. My gold crown was safe. Um, so basically, in this moment, the fact that Ellie is glad that the dentist was hung reveals that he's very calloused and hardened in this moment. I mean, he has completely lost his ability to empathize and sympathize with another human being's hardship. At this point in the book, he only cares about his own survival, and that's what's so significant. Um, all right, let's go over question number 2. Why does Ellie finally relent and agree to give the crown to Frantic? And what does this reveal about Ellie? So this is from page 55 in your book. It says, unfortunately, Frantic knew how to handle this. He knew my weak spot. My father had never served in the military and could not march in step. It also says that presented Frantic with the opportunity to torment him and on a daily basis to thrash him savagely. Left, right, he punched him. Left, right, he slapped him. So basically, the reason that Ellie decides to give up his crown is because he's trying to protect his father. Frantic knew that Ellie cared for his dad and cared about the fact that he was being beat. And so, his father is unable to march in step and therefore earns a lot of frequent beatings from Frantic. But the fact that he was able to give up his gold crown for his father really shows that he deeply still loves and cares for his dad. And so that's the answer for number 2. All right, for number 3, identify the literary device Wiesel uses in this line. At first, my father simply doubled over under the blows, but then he seemed to break in two like a tree struck by lightning. What does this comparison of edict to lightning emphasize to the reader? So again, um, in this moment, and I'm going to go ahead and read the full paragraph. He says, you old loafer, he started shouting, is this what you call working? And he began beating him with an iron bar. At first, my father simply doubled over under the blows, but then he seemed to break into like an old tree struck by lightning. I had watched it all happening without moving. I kept silent. In fact, I thought of stealing away in order to not suffer the blows. What's more, if I felt anger at that moment, it was not directed toward the capo, but at my father. Why couldn't he have avoided Edict's wrath? That was what life in a concentration camp had made of me. So basically, this line includes a simile, which again, it shows the reader that those that are in power are really unstoppable. Edict has this sort of intense and terrifying power that's the same, that is like on the same par as like an uncontrollable force of lightning, right? That's why the comparison between Edict and lightning really works, because Edict is out of control. He's violent, just like lightning is sort of out of our control, and it's violent, it's terrifying. Um, there's a storm bearing down on these men, and the painful strikes that they receive seem violent. They seem random, just like lightning. Um, so that leads into question number 4. What does Ellie do when Edict hit his father? What was he thinking? And how does that reveal that Ellie's changed? Well, of course, he does nothing, right? I mean, Ellie just sits there watching Edict beat his dad. And in that moment, again, he blames his dad for not avoiding Edict's wrath. He said, if I felt anger at that moment, it was actually towards my dad, not towards Edict. So, in the concentration camp, survival seems to trump everything, including sympathy and humanity. Wiesel, unfortunately, Ellie seems more even though he loves his father, he almost views his love for his father as a weakness that threatens his own survival. And so when his dad is being beaten, he's actually angry at his dad versus being angry at Edict. And this again shows how much he's changed. since being in the concentration camp, and how much sort of dealing with death and beatings on a daily basis has changed him fundamentally, that he can't even feel sorry for his dad. So hopefully those answers make sense. Again, I apologize. I'm not sure we discussed these in class, so I'm not sure why the audio didn't pop up. Maybe it was something where I accidentally stopped recording too early in the chapter or something. But anyway, make sure that you do read through the entire chapter 4. And then, of course, in part 2, I discuss the answers to 5 through 8. So you'll get the answers for that in that video. Okay, but there it is. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you so much.